Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm in the white t-shirt undershirt, the white tee undershirt. So you know it's been a long day, but I'm still here. And I'm still happy to stream for you guys. My name is Stuart Davis, flawed man of God. I'm a humble parishioner at a small church just outside of Richmond, Virginia. Not a pastor, not a biblical scholar, and I haven't been to seminary. I'm not trying to get you to join my church or donate to any special cause. What I'm here to do is talk about God, talk about Jesus, talk about the Holy Spirit, talk about Christianity, talk about the Bible, talk about a wide variety of different topics, issues, and current events, and give you my perspective on them. One that I think is reflective of your average Christian guy. Been a Christian all my life, 40 years, non-denominational Protestant. I don't subscribe to any particular doctrine or denomination. I'm just in the word daily, trying to do it better each and every day. Sometimes I'll get it right. Many times I'll get it wrong. But no matter what, if you hear me streaming, if you're watching me, and I'm giving you an honest opinion, or if I'm giving you my opinions or takes, you know that they're going to be honest. You can take it to the bank. So if you are somebody who is looking to learn more about Christianity, maybe you're new to Christianity, or maybe you're just searching because you're curious about it and you want to know more. Maybe you want to hear it from somebody who isn't a wildly popular social media personality, or um, maybe a big time pastor. Maybe you want to hear it straight from one of the one of the everymen out there, the guy sitting in the pew next to you. If that's what you're looking for, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, because you're gonna find that that's what you're gonna get here. It's a very relaxed, very comfortable stream, and it's from the laity, right? I am definitely a layperson. I am not professionally or classically trained in the faith. I just know from what I've experienced and what I read, and that's what I'm going to share with you. And so hopefully that glimpse in through the eyes of the average parishioner will help set you forward on a path to salvation. If you are already a Christian and you just enjoy Christian topics and discussions, welcome as well. Glad to have you here. You'll find we run this very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. Hold on one second. One that's very similar to a Wednesday night study group or a Sunday school. Like I said, it's very relaxed and very comfortable. It's supposed to be free flowing, genuine, and in the moment. And that's what it's all about. Like I said, if you are a fan of that type of fellowship, you're gonna like what you get here. And so no matter whether you are just interested in learning more about Christianity, or you have been one forever and you are more mature in your faith than me, please get in that chat. Get in the chat and share your thoughts on whatever it is we're talking about. What am I doing? What am I right about? What am I wrong about? Uh, what unique perspective? Um, what experience do you have about what we're talking about that gives you something to share with the group? What questions do you have? I'm not going to say that I have answers to every question or any question, but I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. But we have a great group of folks who tune in and night out, and I would love for you to join them, because y'all make the show better, and y'all give the show a little bit extra and send me off on tangents and sometimes make fun of me, and it's all good because I enjoy it. I very much enjoy it. So with that said, we're going to get the program started, but we're going to experience just a brief bit of dead air while I go and handle something real quick. My son was late getting to bed, and I thought that I wasn't going to be able to tuck him in, but I am going to take the time to go do that presently. So I will be back in a few short minutes. I appreciate your patience. Now, same number of viewers. I'm not going to apologize for taking the time um, to say goodnight to my son, but I will thank you guys for your patience while I did take that time. I appreciate that. You guys are awesome. My audience is awesome. And I love you guys deeply, spiritually. And again, welcome to the show. Hey, Matt Felty. Hey, Veritax. And hey, Serranos. Veritax said, thank God this isn't Twitch, so we don't have to worry about Stu or any other brave soul from giving us artistic nudity. Well, let me be very clear. If I was going to have any, if there was going to be any nudity of me anywhere, it wouldn't be artistic. It would certainly be autistic. So, uh, Serrano's, long time no see on the show. I know I've been quiet on Blaine's, but I've been playing a lot of Project Zomboid recently, and now that I've tweaked the server a little bit, make it a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. I'm having a blast. Having a bit of a blast. Tonight is going to be the last stream for a couple of weeks while I take a bit of a break. However, I know, Serranos, I just did myself. However, I am going to be doing a watch party here of It's a Wonderful Life. I'm going to be doing it with El Chaco. We did talk about it. It's going to be next week, probably around the end of next week. 21st, 22nd is what we're looking at. But we will have that watch party, and you all would be most very welcome to partake in that with us. It's going to be on my channel. Chaco is welcome to simulcast it if he wishes, but it's going to be on my channel. So be here, and I will make sure to send a reminder out in the Discord. And if you haven't been to Discord yet, you can go to the Locals site. You can subscribe to me on Locals for free. Because again, this is not this thing here isn't a money grab. You can get into Locals for free. Subscribe to the page and get the Discord link and join the Discord and get a little bit better updates, right? A little bit, a fraction more access to me, if that's because, like, I'm stretched as it is, and but I do love to make time for you guys here on the show. But I need me time. It's me time, and I can give my thoughts on there. It's really good memes, very good memes on the Discord, as you normally find. Veritex said, it's got some good stuff. The Discord, just don't pray for chocolate rain. There is none available. You can pray for chocolate rain if you wish. You just may not get any. That is up to the Lord to provide, not my Discord. Veritex, I'm glad that you're here. I wanted to get into some. Why is it doing that? I wanted to get into something that you had mentioned in the chat, if you don't mind me sharing it. Not necessarily what you said, or exactly, but the theme of what you were saying. About equipping the laity ourselves to go out and spread the word. Okay, good, Veritex. I'll be more precise. But you said I feel also that lay people need training and encouragement. I feel a lot of church people don't feel like they're equipped, and I think they might be more equipped than they think they are. They just have not been shown how to use what they have. The only people I've heard that do with preaching are people who are outside the body or are in churches that aren't really following scripture to begin with. So, yes and no. And I'm not saying yes to one and no to the other. I'm saying to one thing when you're talking about people feeling more equipped than they are, or actually being more equipped to go out and be disciples. Um, some are, and some think that they are, and they most certainly are not. And that's the that's the challenge, right? How does a church, how does church leadership, how does a pastor um adequately identify that? And I don't think that's easy for anybody to do. What I will say is there are people, and I'm not one of them. Okay, this is easy for me. This is comfortable for me. I've did some videos this and to do this before I started, but um this is I'm a little bit more comfortable in doing this, talking to an audience that's coming to me, that's interested in learning, um, than I am. Some people are just very, for lack of a better word, good at marketing for the faith. They can go out like like a small business owner normally does, create a relationship with somebody and get them in. It is, in my opinion, just like preaching and being a pastor, a spiritual gift. Some folks are able to do that. I used to do it when I was an army recruiter. Um, it was cold calling because I wasn't like the NCO army recruiter. I'm not saying that I didn't have the badge and I didn't go to the schooling. I was an ADSW. Um, It's the ADSW recruitment help. But what they did was give me the grunt work, right? Because that's what my place was. But it involved a lot of cold calling, and this is fresh post 9/11 military. So there was a lot of support for that. It felt it made me feel very uncomfortable calling people try to get them to enlist. And these are people who have put their names on the list. Put their names on the list that they're interested. And I still felt off. And that same feeling comes to me when I go to talk to people about the faith. I mean, very uncomfortable. If they come to me and ask me, that goes away completely. Um, and it's not street preaching. It's just people who are just it's they can just naturally lead somebody into, yeah, buddy. It's like, hey, why don't you come? Why don't you come down to the church and everything? And it just, it's got a little bit to do with a little bit of charisma, just natural and a desire and just ability to get people interested in coming out. Um, and that doesn't necessarily need to involve preaching. But again, people have different gifts. Some people think they have gifts and do not. And I don't necessarily mean that doesn't make them goats, right? Because you can still have a well-meaning, good person who understands it in their spirit, but just can't can't say, can't put it into words what they need to, and they end up saying the wrong thing. Um, but it's a challenge. There's no getting around it. It's a challenge. We want to we encourage people as a faith, at least in my churches that I've been a part of. You are trying to make people disciples and put them out into the world and have them reach people and bring them in. Serranos, you're not. I'm sorry, you're not. Um, reach people and bring them in. But how do we really prepare them? And do we really prepare them well? The same argument has to be said for how we prepare our kids to be Christians as adults. And we don't do good job of apologetics, and we send them to these colleges or they even when they go out to high school and all these, and you hear all the Reddit tier arguments from atheists and people trying to get them to trip up. Oh, but didn't you know this? And they throw out some fact that isn't actually a fact. It's some conjecture or something they read on the internet somewhere, or something that's easily explained or answered in the Bible. But they're not ready because they haven't been educated enough. They've been to Sunday school. They know the They know the highlights, Samson. They know about Samson. They know about Daniel, but they know enough about the meat to go. But that's or the theme or the spirit behind Christianity enough to say, wait, hold up, that's not what you're saying is a misrepresentation. It's a they can't defend their faith, and a lot of them fall to the wayside because they end up lost. And we didn't. My generation was not prepared, and I don't think generations that have come after me. I don't know about the ones before me. The ones my generation, Xennials, kind of that bubble group between Gen X and millennials going forward have just not been prepared. Not been prepared to go out and meet that. You need to be singularly strong in your faith to withstand that. Because people will do things like, hey, why don't you read the Da Vinci Code? And you go and read it because it's exciting, right? And it has something to do with faith. And then you read all this crap from Dan Brown, and he presents it as if it's fact. When you forget it's fiction, and a lot of what he says is not real. it's not. It's fanfic. It's atheist fanfic for the most part, and it's not something that if you aren't, we're not setting our youth up for success if we just toss them out the way we have, and then we wonder why they fall to the wayside. I know people who I've seen who have been strong in their faith, full of love for God, and fallen away for a multitude of reasons that we've set them up for failure. Really, somebody would do that? Just write a book and tell lies? Good one, Serranos. Of course, that's unbelievable. Veritex said, had a conversation with someone the other day. Didn't understand why this guy was upset that he had cash to buy property and be a landlord. And I naturally came at it from a Christian perspective. Why would you be upset? In the end, it seemed like the person who was causing trouble needed Christ, and that's what mattered. There's nothing wrong with being a landlord, guys. Being a irresponsible and a being irresponsible and treating people unfairly would be an unchristian thing to be. Blaine said, a lot of my friends that went from Christian school to college atheist was from the 2000s Christian denial of science. Veritax responded, it gets funny because I don't remember this Christian denial of science. I remember a few people who misunderstood science and tried to extrapolate it to its biblical understanding. No, Veritax, I mean, I'm with Blaine on this one. I remember that, well, it might not have been as true, but I definitely saw it. And you can come back and find folks who are who think science is a myth or science is a work of the devil instead of and some things that scientists tell us and scientists believe are wrong, right? And they are just trying to be cringy about it. But there are things that, but the idea that any science is bad has been I've seen it before. I've seen it before. And I think it became a meme before memes were a thing, but it became a meme, and not even in the 2000s, not just the 2000s. This was a 1990s thing, really, too, Blaine. It became a meme that if you were a Christian, you thought science was dumb, and that you could, when Christians were confronted with science, it would blow their minds. Of course, what they presented with is, oh, you know, you believe in evolution? That's against the Bible. It was allowing atheists to drive the narrative. Veritex, science is rightly the way we understand the laws of nature that God essentially created. Science is the way God has the universe operate, right? And sometimes we get it right, sometimes we figure it out to a degree, sometimes we don't. But Nernath probably most aptly describes science in one word: witchcraft. We're not going to have any of that on this show. The big one was evolution in the age of the earth, and no adult Christian around me understood the atom was made as an adult. Why wasn't the earth? It's difficult. And you still see, again, we've had differing perspectives on that. Young earth creationists, old earth, old earth believers. And I have my opinions on which one is right, and it has changed over the years, actually. But I'm also the idea of whatever it is, I might be wrong about it, but it doesn't change it. It doesn't change whether I'm right about how I'm reading Genesis 1. Doesn't change what actually is. Doesn't change what actually is. Doesn't change it. It doesn't change the fact that God created the universe and created the earth and created us. It doesn't change the fact that he had a covenant with us. It doesn't change the fact that Jesus came down and sacrificed himself with. It doesn't change the fact that miracles are done. It doesn't change the faith. Doesn't change the faith. What changes the faith is when somebody comes in there and convinces you that this part of the Bible is wrong. And if you're not prepared to defend that, you are vulnerable to Satan. Because that will be a deep attack on your faith. You're gonna stop posting these spells in the chat, Nernath. All right? We're not doing any of that nonsense. If you want to pose mathematical equations and formulas, go peddle your essential oils somewhere else, Nernath. Trying to sneak this in here in the chat. Think I'm going to read that? Think I'm going to give you the time of day? Dresden said, which is funny because the people who mock the Christians for not believing in science now don't agree with science if it doesn't politically agree with them. Doesn't it? And Veritex said, yeah, I never understood people that argued over that, not to mention that there are two creation stories in Genesis and the gap theory also. I don't know. But again, to me, that's not. God is explaining something to us, and we either have figured it out or we haven't. That's a little bit more. That's a little bit harder to grasp concept than God spelling out laws in Leviticus and Jesus literally coming down and performing miracles and literally dying and literally raising from the dead. Right? There's different. Some people are very hard and very committed to it, and I respect that too. But at the same time, I don't think the litmus test when you get into heaven is going to be how old is the Earth. I'm going to ban you, Dresden. Ban you. All right. That's enough goofing off, guys. But yeah, Vertex. I did want to address that because I thought it was a poignant comment, and it has a lot of relevance, and it's a difficult to tackle thing. And I think that this is something that a lot of pastors who are honest and responsible in their role will still struggle with. How do I balance this? Am I doing it right? And I want them to struggle with it because it shows that they are concerned. It shows that they are aware that it's an important thing. It's an important thing, and you want to make sure that you're doing it right. And we could use more people. We could use less people in some regard going out and just saying what they think is right as gospel. And we could use more people going out. It just depends on the person, right, Vertex? So hopefully I'm in the good column. All right, like I said, we're going to get into this. Started off this show, I said, wearing the white undershirt, just the white undershirt. So you know it's been a long day. It's been a long day. It's been a bad day. Just a long day. Some good praises out there. Some things happened that could have been bad, but were great, and people are going home today. That if things had been different, something had gone one way or the other, they might not have. So, big praises for God today, and it's good to have a happy ending. All right. Let's see. How do I want to do this? Screen. We're going to go over. Boom. 39 and 40 tonight in Psalms. Boom. Welcome. Oh, by the way, welcome to the show, Nernath. Welcome to the show, Blaine. I didn't give you your good welcome. Veritex said, posted about that streamer that is trying to get right with the Lord on the Discord was an interesting story. Huh. Okay. I'd check it out. Maybe do an episode about it later. If you remind me when I get back, that'll be something good. All right. But let's get into our reading. No, I can do it this way. To the chief musician, to Jeduthun, a psalm of David. I said, I will guard my ways, lest I sin with my tongue. I will restrain my mouth with a muzzle, while the wicked are before me. I was mute with silence. I held my peace even from good, and my sorrow was stirred up. My heart was hot within me. While I was musing, the fire burned. Then I spoke with my tongue. Lord, make me to know my end, and what is the measure of my days, that I may know how frail I am. Indeed, you have made my days as handbreadths, and my age is as nothing before you. Certainly, every man at his best state is but vapor. Salah. Surely every man walks about like a shadow. Surely they busy themselves in vain. He heaps up riches and does not know who will gather them. And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the reproach of the foolish. I was mute. I did not open my mouth, because it was you who did it. Remove your plague from me. I am consumed by the blow of your hand. When it rebukes, you correct man for iniquity. You make his beauty melt away like a moth. Surely every man is vapor. Salah. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Do not be silent at my tears, for I am a stranger with you, a sojourner, as all my fathers were. Remove your gaze from me, that I may regain strength before I go away and am no more. Maybe like vapor. What's going on, Alex? Welcome to the show. Glad to have you here. Um, this one for me is a bit confusing. There are parts of it that I understand and parts that I get a little lost. So if you guys want to put forth your theories on this, please do and educate me. All right. It starts at the beginning. Starts at the beginning of this. I said, I will guard my ways, lest I sin with my tongue, and I will restrain my mouth with a muzzle. Okay. That's what I'm all right. Maybe making a little bit more sense to me now that I'm rereading it again. But it sounds to me like, okay, I shoot off my mouth too much. Maybe I say more than I should. Maybe I say things that I shouldn't say. So I'm going to temper that. Right? So I'm going to keep silent. I'm going to listen more than I speak. While the wicked are before me. Oh, I will restrain my mouth with a muzzle while the wicked are before me. I was mute with silence. I held my peace even from good. And my sorrow was stirred up. My heart was hot within me while I was musing. The fire burned, then spoke with my tongue. So it sounds to me, all right, I'm going to be a little bit more reserved in my speech. But in doing so, I didn't do what I was supposed to. I didn't speak when I should have. It's a balancing act, right? When you are someone who is as talkative as me, it's easy to put your foot in your mouth. It's easy. You get very comfortable with the feeling of putting your foot in your mouth. Doesn't feel good, but at least you're more used to it. And sometimes I wonder, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I went too far. And the balance is, when am I not speaking up when I should? Am I missing an opportunity to share wisdom with somebody who needs it because they are wicked before me? Or maybe I can use the wicked before me as an example by sharing my wisdom that they're foolish and the things that they do are foolish. It's hard. It's a difficult balancing act. Psalm 39 and 40 tonight, Alex. What translation are you using, Alex? Since you are following along. And it sounds to me like he has some, when he says, my heart was hot within me, and while I was musing, the fire burned, then I spoke with my tongue. I spoke with my tongue. Sounds like his feelings got to be so great that he couldn't keep it in anymore. Lord, make me know my end and what is the measure of my days, that I may know how frail I am. Indeed, you have made my days as handbreadths, and my age as nothing as before you. You certainly every man at his best state is but vapor. Selah. Surely every man walks about as like a shadow. Surely they busy themselves in vain, heaps up riches, and does not know who will gather them. It sounds a lot here like I really got roped in and went too far. Perhaps. I mean, he goes full, what is it? Ecclesiastes? Hang on. I might be Vanity of vanities, all is vanity, right? It's very Ecclesiastes here. I am nothing before you. My life is nothing before you. You are all powerful, and I am nothing. Certainly, every man at his best state is but vapor. Nothing. Nothing. It's smoke dissipating into the ether. So he sounds like he's almost despairing or showing great respect. Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's difficult to find the theme here that he's driving at. And now, Lord, what do I wait for? My hope is in you. Deliver me from all my transgressions. Do not make me the reproach of the foolish. I was mute and I did not open my mouth because it was you who did it. Remove your plague from me. I am consumed by the blow of your hand. When with rebukes you correct man for iniquity, you make his beauty melt away like a moth. Surely every man is vapor. Selah. So it sounds like the despair is more what he's just talking about. Because I am nothing. You were the great creator. Please forgive me. Forgive me for the things that I did. Because I spoke when I shouldn't have, or I didn't speak when I should have. That's why I feel like this is saying. But I am, to borrow from Hoobastank, crawling in the dark here, looking for the answers. Is there something more than I've been handed? I'll stop now. This is Blaine's fault for bringing up the early 2000s. Hear my prayer, O Lord, and give ear to my cry. Do not be silent at my tears, for I am a stranger with you, a sojourner, as all my fathers were. Remove your gaze from me, that I may regain strength before I go away and am no more. This is very emo. This is very emo. This is very humbling talk from David. It's a bit difficult to listen to read, to feel that he feels this way. But, did cause the deaths of 70,000 Israelites. Not holding that against David at all. But I'm just bringing in. He does have some significant some mistakes that he has made that may weigh very heavily on him, and he does understand to probably a better degree than most the majesty and the identity of God. He doesn't fully comprehend it. He just gets it better than we do. Alex Morse, they're totally shocked I still find a Gideon Bible in hotels. Hey, good for them. Like I said, God bless those Gideons. Yeah, timely for me. I was silent and frustrated about a church issue I foresaw. Then it came to pass. Yeah, Matt, got to tell you, kind of in a similar boat where I'm on the back end of it, where I feel like I was punished in a way for my stance and speaking out, and I still wrestle with how I handled it. Did I do the right thing? I feel like I stood on principle. I feel like I stood on biblical principle. And while I was given an ear, no action was taken. Did they believe me? Did they agree with me? I don't know, because the behavior's been allowed to continue. Like I said, me taking a stand and not participating in it avoiding it uh, cost me um, in some way. It sucks. It sucks. It's not fun. And again, sometimes, I mean, hey, standing up on principles will oftentimes cost you things, and you've got to be okay with it. There will be sleepless nights. There will be times where you might second guess yourself. It should always lead you to prayer, to God. So Alias says, even though he was holding his tongue, his heart and mind were going nuts, and he couldn't control it. Oh, I think the meme of the kid in the school classroom, and he's going like this, and the veins are popping out of his mind. That's what I'm thinking of. that's what he's in right here. Good visual aid. Memes are great. I'm such a fan of memes. Good memes. Liberal memes are terrible. They all stink. There's too many words. It's too wordy, and it's usually something dumb. Sorry, liberals. All right. Veritex said a lot of people can deal with maybe not being seen as right on thoughts they have if they are able to at least voice concerns and be heard. A lot of people can. Some people need to be right. And I worry that sometimes I fall into that category. A friend of mine tells me that a lot of times I have good ideas or I speak something that is true. I speak truth, but I don't deliver it the right way, in a way that will change people's minds. And that I have a deep amount of respect for the person who told me that, and I think that they're right, and that because of that, it makes it difficult for me to feel like I'm doing the right thing. Because if I say the right thing and it's received in the bad way, then that makes it more difficult for a person who agrees, who can say it the right way, to follow up. And the last thing I want to do is have people learn the hard way, which I have warned. You will experience the hard way, probably, and maybe not in this lifetime, maybe not in your lifetime, but the church might rue some of the decisions that we make. Should I have shut up? Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, it's a difficult. Nobody said that this stuff is easy, but it should always lead you to prayer. But squelching people and stifling discussion just causes tension to build in the body. Yes, yes. A guy to give things in kind of a vague moment. We were having a congregational meeting, and a gentleman who I respect brought up a question about something about another person and their role in the church. Right. And it wasn't a bad question, but a lot of people took it the wrong way because it felt like it was an attack. But what it was him airing a concern because he wanted because he wanted people to justify it, or he just flat out didn't agree with it, but he put it out there. And a lot of people said, "Oh, I don't know why he said that." And I said, "I know exactly why. Because it was on his mind. And it wasn't just on his mind, it was on a couple of other people's too. So it was important to put that out there and let the congregation let their collective opinion be known." And it was. And we were able to have closure on it and move past it. And things were great. But people didn't realize that it was that being able to be open and question something might be difficult to hear in the moment, but is cathartic in the aftermath, because it's not hovering out there anymore among some folks, not unsaid. The great unsaid thing that we deal with at our church is Why do people keep leaving? And I think everybody has an opinion. And I think most of those opinions align. But are we addressing them? No. And as a result, it's not getting addressed. The hard way. Is there any other way? Sometimes by recognizing a bad choice for what it is and moving the other way. Right? Faith, persevering in trial. Psalm 40. So the next page over, Alex. Haha, get it? Fair text that a lot of people lack enough information to understand and won't understand if it's not elucidated and shared too. Maybe people might have opinions, but might think that they're alone, or might think that they might be ostracized if they bring them up, or have people get angry with them. A lot of people don't, but it takes somebody like myself who doesn't really care. They're more concerned with putting out what they think is truthful and right than they are whether somebody's going to be put out by it. But you got to be tactful too. It's a way to do it. I'm bad at it, apparently. And I am honest, open and honest enough to know that to realize that I am probably bad at it, and I haven't figured out how I'm bad at it or what I need to do to change. It's not that I don't want to. I want to be better. I just don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm doing in my delivery that is wrong. And somebody can explain it to me, and it's like another language. Just can't figure it out. It can't unravel it. All right. All right. Before any more of your great chats come in, because they are all great, let's get into 40. Faith persevering in trial. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined to me, and I heard a cry. He also brought me up out of a horrible pit, out of the miry clay, and set my feet upon a rock, and established my steps. He has put a new song in my mouth. Praise to our God. Many will see it and fear, and will trust in the Lord. Blessed is that man who makes the Lord his trust, and does not respect the proud, nor such as turn aside to lies. Many, O Lord my God, are your wonderful works, which you have done, and your thoughts towards us cannot be recounted to you in order. If I would declare and speak of them, they are more than can be numbered. Sacrifice and offering you did not desire. My ears you have opened. Burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not require. Then I said, behold, I come. In the scroll of the book it is written of me, I will delight to do your will, O my God, and your law is within my heart. I have proclaimed good news of righteousness in the great assembly. Indeed, I do not restrain my lips. O Lord, you yourself know. I have not hidden your righteousness within my heart. I have declared your faithfulness and your salvation. I have not concealed your loving kindness and your truth from the great assembly. Do not withhold your tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let your loving kindness and your truth continually preserve me. For for innumerable evils have surrounded me. Let's start from the beginning. Well, the beginning of this passage. Do not withhold your tender mercies from me, O Lord. Let your loving kindness and your truth continually preserve me. For innumerable evils have surrounded me. My iniquities have overtaken me, so I am not able to look up. They are more than the hairs of my head. Therefore, my heart fails me. Be pleased, O Lord, to deliver me. O Lord, make haste to help me. Let them be ashamed and brought to a mutual confusion. Let them be ashamed and brought to mutual confusion who seek to destroy my life. Let them be driven backward and brought to dishonor who wish me evil. Let them let them be confounded because of their shame, who say to me, aha, aha. No laughing. Let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let such as love your salvation say continually, the Lord be magnified. But I am poor and needy, yet the Lord thinks upon me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay, oh my God. There you go. Welcome, MR. Long time missing you. About 2 weeks and a half hour late. Sorry. No, we are if we are at 40 and we do 2 a night, that's like a month and a half, MR. I'm not counting. It's been a while. It's been 28 days, 16 hours, and 35 minutes, MR. I'm not counting. I'm not keeping score. Just kidding, MR. Glad you're here. Missed you. I've missed you. Veritech said, I swear Petra had a song from taken in part from this psalm. Glad you got out of that cave, MR. Where the trolls are. This is an interesting one compared to the one we just read. God has put a new song in my mouth. Praise to our Lord. Trust in the Lord. Whereas he is sure and certain and faithful in this psalm. But the last one, he was unsure and made missteps and made mistakes. This is talking about trust. Even in even when I make mistakes, even when I do slip up. This is almost like a sequel to the previous psalm. And maybe he did write them back to back. I don't know. Who knows? David knows. I do not. But what it does do is pair well with 39. Because where I have shown I have tried and failed and not represented you well. Here, I'm putting my faith in you. I am praising your name, and you are blessing me, even throughout my iniquities, because I trust in you. I trust that you're going to look out for me. I trust that you are going to have grace and mercy on me. I trust that the path you have laid before me is good, and I should try my best to walk it. Let all those who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let such love your salvation say continually, Lord, the Lord be magnified. But I am poor and needy. Yet the Lord thinks upon me. You are my help and my deliverer. Do not delay, oh my God. Even when I'm at my weakest, even when I have nothing to show for my behavior. Maybe the results haven't favored me. God does not abandon me. Amen. That's a good ending point. I like it when it wraps up real nicely. All right, folks. It's going to be another couple of weeks. Sorry, MR. I know you just got here. All right. Reminder. Doing a watch party. We're going to do a watch party for It's a Wonderful Life. Chaco and I are going to go do it together. It's going to be on this show. It's going to be late next week sometime is what we are aiming for. Yeah, MR. I just need, like I said, I need a couple of weeks. I want to tool with some. I say this. I probably won't because I'm lazy. I want to tinker a little bit with the production value of the show. Production value of the show. Do something a little bit better. Look, Blaine can put together. A much better produced show. Now, who's the better host? It's obviously me. Who's got the better content? Me. Who's better looking? Me. Who's got a better chat? Me. Look, and if you just go down the checklist, who's got a correct opinion on spoilers? Me. Blaine has a producer that feeds him React content. Is it you, Serranos? When you return, you can do a fantasy day team date. I'm not doing that till baseball. Whose chat is better than ours? Nobody. It's not. We got the best chat. I got the best chat because you guys are the best. You guys are the best. Look, like I said, Blaine. Look, Blaine. Poor man's Stewart. Right. He's got to be. Blaine is. I hope he's listening to this, but I know he's getting ready for his show. Blaine is, Mom, can we have stew? And Mom says, we already have stew at home. Stew at home is Blaine. Watch party is going to be It's a Wonderful Life. Jimmy Stewart, classic. You should be watching this every Christmas. You should be watching this with us next week. I've never done a watch party. I've never witnessed or been part of a watch party at all. So I don't know how it works. I don't know how I'm supposed to behave. So I might not do well. We'll see how it goes. But if it does go well, rest assured, we'll do it again. And we'll definitely make a tradition out of it on Christmas to watch it. The same show. Same show, same movie. It's going to be a blast. I'm just going to assume that Blaine hasn't been here to defend himself. Somebody clip this and tell him I'll be playing Project Zomboid, which is what I'm going to do as soon as I get off of here, I think. Is there any other? Did they colorize It's a Wonderful Life? No. Has to be what? Has to be done in black and white. Anyway. All right. So like I said, so here's what I'm going to say. Here's what I'm going to say. Have a Merry Christmas. Go to church. Go to that that Christmas Eve candlelight service at a based church with an awesome congregation. Find your place if you haven't already. Give thanks. Appreciate the Lord. Ah, he's there. Blaine. Appreciate the Lord, what he's done for us, the beauty of his gift to us. the meaning behind it, the selflessness that comes from it. Because that sets in motion. That's the arrival of the sacrifice for us. Spend time with your family. Amen on that one. Spend time with your family. Spend time with your friends. Spend time in prayer. Be safe. And understand the meaning of Christmas by not stressing yourself out. Faith in the Lord. We've been reading about it in Psalms. Faith in the Lord. He's going to bring you through it. It may not be in the way you think. It may not be in this life. But he's there for you. And you can find joy or comfort or peace with trust in that. This is also a time of stress. This can be a very stressful time. It could be a very stressful time. And I want you to know that it's important that as stressful as it is, take time. Take time to just unwind a bit and take your problems to God. Give them over to him instead of letting them fester or let Satan take advantage of you. This is a time of joy. It's a time of giving and receiving. I will probably be back January 2nd or 3rd. It'll be one of those 2 days. But again, next week I'll do a watch party. So Matt Felty, MR, Alex, Blaine, Alias, Nernaev, Veritax, Serranos, Dresden. That's the group tonight. Thank you for going honeymooning after Christmas. Good job, Veritax. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, for you guys and the rest of the audience and everybody else out there, be safe. Have a good time. Enjoy the time off. You can still reach out to me over Discord. And I want to see you guys all back that first week of the year. Because at that point, I'll be saying that I've been a Christian all my life, 41 years non-denominational Protestant. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for a year of awesome viewership. Some of y'all have been here the whole year. Some of y'all have been here most of the year. Some of y'all are just finding me. But I don't care. I'm just glad you're here. Just glad that you found this place and that you're in the chat or you're listening and you're giving me likes or you're subscribing and you're sharing it and you're sharing the word and you think what I'm doing is good and it's encouraging. And I can't say it enough. Thank you guys for being y'all. I love y'all and I want to see you guys enjoy this time. So I will see you guys later. You guys have a very Merry Christmas. Good night. God bless.